You are listening to Food for Worms, the original True Grime podcast.
Food for Worms.
Motherfucker just hit me up last minute. I don't.
So are you technically on vacay tomorrow, or like
No,
obviously you're
absolutely not. It is a work trip, bro.
Yeah. You gotta basically just like commute for work, and then be there and work. Correct.
No, like here's the thing though. The great one of the privileges of this job is that it doesn't always feel like work, even though
Right.
it is work.
Right.
So am I at work? Yeah, but it isn't like it's like a bunch of it's hurry up and wait.
Yep.
It's hurry up
Especially
and
when-
wait.
Especially when like you're the dude, because you're gonna be in charge of like a crew of people.
I'm
So-
not in charge. I'm just okay. I'm not the tour manager for this one. I'm not in charge of a bunch of people. I'm just kind of like the person that's like, hey y'all, here's the thing. As long as we go by this thing that I've created for all 21 of you, we won't die. Maybe.
But if we don't,
but if we don't, someone might die.
and that's why I made it, is so we
This is
can
why I
avoid
made it.
anyone dying.
so none of you die.
So follow this shit.
So follow
'Cause
this shit.
Darren he spent his time making sure y'all don't die.
Dude, I spend so much time with like multiple people having different things and then things shifting. Like it's hurry up and wait, but the whole time like the ground is shifting beneath you. So you're like, did this mountain just turn into an anthill back into a mountain again?
Right.
Great, I love it. I
Well,
love
and
it
like,
so much.
I mean, if you were to go to any spot, though, I mean, Colorado's pretty legit.
Oh fuck yeah!
To be able to like cruise into. I've
Yeah.
only been. I haven't seen a show at Red Rocks, but I've been to Red Rocks. So like,
All right. Well,
I know it's like
change
the
that.
yeah, I know. I know it's like the spot to go see a concert, right? I mean,
Mhm.
in the United States, it's like one of those premier places that you need to see some
Dude, it's
live
one of the
music, so.
last venues. It's not the last, but it's one of the few. I will say, yeah, it's one of the last venues in the United States that has the same name since it started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
it's been,
how long has it been around? Do you know?
It's like fucking 70 years. Like I just got something. It's been 57 years ago.
Oh,
Like
wow,
the
okay.
57 years ago today, from that we're recording, was when the Beatles played and the fucking tickets were only $6.60.
But at
So
that
it's-
time, that'd be like $30 or something. I mean, but still,
With inflation.
yeah, with inflation, it was like $30, but still, like,
Yeah.
now, motherfuckers are charging like $500-$600 for like a band like that. Like,
Yeah, for
I
the
mean-
Beatles.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, speaking of the Beatles, I wanna give a shout out, for first and foremost, to my dude Charlie Watts, the drummer of
Mhm.
Rolling Stones, passed away this week. A couple
Mhm.
days ago. Dude was 80 years old, and he was a large influence in, inspiring me to become a drummer. I was telling Brooke that like the dudes that like made me want to be a drummer were Charlie Watts, John
Mm.
Bonham from Led Zeppelin, fucking Keith Moon from The Who, and then the two like newer music that I was into was fucking Dave Grohl, drummer of
Mhm.
Nirvana, and Trey Cool from Green Day. That's like 10-year-old me. That's like the shit I was like listening to and wanting to. And then my mom got me a drum kit because she's fucking rad. So
Your mom is rad, but I'm also it's like you got Sam a drum kit.
yeah,
You got Sam. You got our Sam a drum kit
but
on purpose.
I think she was like, I can go outside if he's fucking busy for like an hour, 2
Yeah.
hours, 3 hours. I'm stoked because I not that my mom like wanted me not around, but I think she
Yeah.
was just like, it's a break. If it's loud, fuck,
Yeah,
I'll go
it's fine, yeah.
outside and hang.
It's loud, but he's leaving me alone, and that's the trade-off. Anyway,
Yeah,
everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Food for Worms. I am one of your hosts, Darien.
And I am Sam. I am Sam.
This is Sam. What up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been it's been a couple weeks since you and I have spoken, and I'm super
Okay.
stoked that we're what. No, well, I mean, we've talked, but I mean, we haven't formally sat down and like chatted on a podcast. So I'm stoked that we're like conversing over the airwaves of the internet, and I can see your
Me too.
face and all these things. Um, it's been a weird, couple of weeks because I had a cold that I was like, my whole entire family had a cold that we were getting over, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like not a COVID scare because I got tested. So, but I had to like stay home because I'm a mail carrier and I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
go around and get anybody sick. And then just like I've been like recuperating from all of that, kind of just being like tuckered out. And
Mm-hmm.
then like my job is physical. So it's like you can't really like catch up on that sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finally getting my bearings back. So it's been a weird couple of weeks, but I'm feeling, I'm finally getting back to my normal self. So
Dude,
how about yourself?
dude, those to comment on you being sick, man. Those long six,
Yeah.
those long six. When I say that, it's SICKS, the long six. When they fucking hit you, and then like you said, you couldn't catch up on rest because you had to go back into work and shit once you were actually feeling better and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That haze of
Yep.
like your body being like, yeah, man, we're back. We're at 75%. Well, we're fucking back.
Well, and like
And
I said, like
yeah.
with work, with my job, I'm out
Mhm.
in public. There's a bunch of mail carriers
Mhm.
and whatever. So it's just like I have to do my job to not get a bunch of other people sick, just because we're out in the
Mhm.
community, we're out doing our thing. So it's just like,
Yeah.
yep, I got to sit here. And it was like an insane, like basically the doctor told me like it's probably just an insane sinus infection, and I'm like, damn, I've never felt this before in my life
Yeah,
because
no, dude, the sinuses, man, are like the fucking keys to all types of shit, man. Like as soon as your sinuses go up, then like the rest of your body just fucking feels it. I had
yep.
one of the worst sinus infections of my life when I was like 22. Um, and it was one of the things where like I couldn't breathe out of my nose, and then sometimes I could, and then most times I couldn't, or it'd be like one side would be completely backed up, the other, then it would trade back and then it would trade back and forth.
Right.
And I remember like being 22 and still being really like, you know what? Well, we're going out to Palmer's tonight. All right, let's go, guys. And I'm just like, and then I'm just like, hey, let's go on, guys. Let's go. No, it's all good. I'm not sick. We just got a little sinus infection. Meanwhile, my eyes were like for fucking red. And I'm like,
Right.
no, I'm cool, And everybody's like, you're not cool. You should go home. I'm like, no, man, it's fine. It's gonna be cool. And it's stupid.
Well, and that's when you realize like everything in your face is fucking connected. Like you
Yeah,
breathe through your mouth, your fucking nose, and then like how do your eyes and your ears get affected by you being congested in your
dude,
head? But
that
like,
sinus
but we were
cavity
like
is
unable to
everything.
hear. Like
Yeah.
our ears were plugged. I mean, Brooke is still going through some shit with her ears.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it was I had to like sleep sitting up on the couch and
Mm.
that's why I was like worried. I'm vaccinated and whatever, but there's still a chance that you can get COVID. There's always that
Mhm.
chance.
Oh, for
So
sure.
like that's why I was like I need to get tested. I need to make sure I don't have this because I would be out of breath in the morning
Mhm.
because like I could barely breathe while sleeping if I was laying down. So I'd have to like
Mhm.
sit up on the couch, pass out, and then I'd be out of breath in the morning. So like that was
Mhm.
the main thing is I hadn't been like had that like shortness of breath,
Yeah.
before. So that's
What do
like the
you
only like
usually take when you are sick? It's just let's just
I
say
mean
like just general sick, but like what is your go-to? This makes Sam feel better, even if it doesn't actually help the sickness. It's just a
right.
comforting thing. What do you like to have?
Well, and like a coworker of mine told me years ago that like when I start to feel something, I should start
Mhm.
taking airborne, so like
Yeah.
vitamin C. And I don't know if it does anything because I still got sick as fuck,
Yeah.
and I was taking it before. I was like I just had like a small little like raspy throat or whatever. So I'll
Mhm.
take that. I try not to overdo it with the NyQuil, but if I haven't gotten a couple like good nights of sleep or whatever, I'll I'll
Mhm.
I'll take a little bit of that just so that I can like that just forces you to have to take a fucking legit nap,
Yeah.
so you can sleep it
Yeah.
off. Um, and then I was just like taking some like random like sinus medication and then Tylenol to like relieve the pressure in my head.
I guess when I was saying
I hope
so,
this
no,
is
so,
interesting. People
no,
listening
we're
and
getting there.
hearing about my cold.
No, the interesting part that I was hoping that you tell us was like things that you take for comfort, not things that you that you take to make you feel better from the sickness. So it's more like,
I mean, it's definitely been fucking junk food, man. Like
okay.
it was like ice cream.
Yeah.
I mean, sweets are like a major like comfort for me just in general because I have such a
Yeah.
huge sweet tooth, and we'll get into that shit.
Yeah.
But also like, why is it that you think that when we were like younger and we'd get like hungover or something, you think like, oh, I'm gonna go get some greasy food and I'll feel better. That's bullshit. Like I would, that's what I did when I had a cold. Like, honey, I'm gonna go get us some McDonald's. I think no, that doesn't work. Like, how does that
honey,
a preconceived
I'm
notion?
I'm having a runny nose. Giving you a fillet of fish.
I hear the McRib's back.
No. Ugh. Oh my
No,
god.
I don't think so. I've never
Oh my
been
god.
a
No.
fan of
Oh
the
my.
McRib.
I said the most ignorant thing to Alex of like a week or two before or who was it? Was it to you?
I don't know. What did you say?
I think
we had not talked about the McRib, so.
No. Okay. Well, then I said the shit to Alex. I said something like that. Something that he made was like the McRib.
I'm sure he loved that.
No, he just looked at me with the most like what the fuck is like what? and for me, I was going like it's like the spirit of the McRib. It's what the McRib wishes that it was. He's like, I still don't appreciate that backhanded ass motherfucking compliment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And I mean, it is definitely a backhanded comment or compliment because people love the McRib. So like,
apparently, I've never had one.
Well, and I think I've tried one once, and it was like it didn't live up to the hype. So it's just
it almost never does. My
right.
One of my biggest beefs with the McRib is joke. One of my biggest beefs with the McRib is that it is a placeholder and time for me. It's just like when the fucking when the Girl Scout cookies are coming in, I expect it for that time of year. So you think Girl Scout cookies, you're thinking like April to May. That's when you're gonna start seeing those little fucking cookies around the city. When the fucking McRib happens, I know that time has passed.
Yeah.
Time is a flat circle, and somewhere in there is fucking Girl Scout cookies and a fucking McRib. And then
if that's what's turning your clock as a human being, is Girl Scout cookies.
It's not. It doesn't turn my clock. It just.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying another human being. If that's the two things you're looking forward to.
No, that's the way I mark the passage of time is the fucking McRib, the Shamrock Shake, and the fucking Girl Scout cookies.
And
that's when I know.
That's the one I never got into either. I never could get into the Shamrock Shake, and I love a good fucking like chocolate shake. Like just give me
listen, there are chocolate shakes, and then there's whatever the fuck McDonald's does. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted.
And then there's the Frosty from Wendy's, which is fabulous.
Okay, Frosty from Wendy's is a different tier entirely.
Right, because that's more of like an ice cream treat, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's considered a shake, but
it's not.
I'll go for a malt at a fucking diner all day over a shake, but I'm also going to pay like 3 times.
That's where we differ. Jesus Christ. I
found it's like the time well, like the last time we went out to lunch and I got what did
fries
I get?
And
like
a shake.
Fries and a shake, and I was so happy days. Like that's straight up an order that you would hear about at Al's.
So
that
happy
Fonzie
days.
got it.
You walked up to the square POS system. You just banged it with your arm. You're like, yeah, there it is. Turn the song. That's not what are you doing? Why are you back here, Sam? No. Yeah.
They throw it down like the bar or whatever for me to catch it, and then I just miss it, and it just falls on the floor.
Yeah. like look, why are you? What are you doing? He's like, nothing, man. I'm just having a good time. Fuck.
So I mean, well, and like we're talking about these junk foods and stuff. I've been contemplating like getting on, and I'm working towards getting myself on a diet for the first time in my life, and not because I feel like I'm getting fat or something like that. I can just see like patterns that I have going on right now, continuing to just
it's a fucking spiral.
Right. It'll add to some or like lead to something, and I already know like, okay, Sam, these things that you've been doing since you were 12
Yeah.
aren't sustainable, and you need to make some changes. So like
Yeah.
mainly sugar and
Yeah.
fucking dairy. Like and I, people have always said like, yeah, I've eliminated this from my diet, and I'm like, what do you mean? I don't fucking
Just
get, I don't
eliminated.
get that at all.
Like you telling me that you just took it and you like held it underneath the water until like the last air bubble came up? Like what do you mean eliminated?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, like I don't comprehend. Like
Yeah.
I don't
No,
get it. And so now it's like I'm really trying to figure out what I need to do to eliminate this sugar, and
Yeah.
it's becoming a problem.
Yeah. I guess the one because I too also have those cravings where it's like and what I have been trying to do is not deny it, but I shift it into a different lane. So
Yeah.
for me, like when I have a hankering for sweets, instead of like getting instead of going out and getting some ice cream or doing some other shit, I make a point to get like fruit from the
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
And like I'm not, when I think fruit, I ain't thinking about a fucking apple unless it's like a fucking a pink apple or those
Right.
fucking those Honey Crisp ones that are just gigantic.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about no fucking apple. I'm thinking like some fucking mango, some watermelon, some fucking cherries and shit. Like I'm thinking that, and I just get like some blueberries, and I just get like a serving of that, and I
Yep.
have that be my sweet thing. But that's just how I've been shifting it, because I don't know. But then also we need to get to a space where we need to where I feel like you're same with you. I need to eliminate sugar to a point. Like I think we because completely like just cutting ourselves off from certain things,
Right.
it's shitty. I don't care what anybody says. Like yes, it's good, and yes, we need to take care of ourselves, and that should be the first and foremost thing. But I also think we should be able to experience fucking joy, and sometimes joy is having a handful of fucking blueberries so you get your fucking sugar fix over the course of 10 o'clock at night before you go to bed. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Well, and
yeah,
that's
just
the
what
thing is I want to be
I've
able to
been
get
doing.
I want to be able to like get to a place where it's like more of a treat, as the actual word as a definition. I want it to be a treat,
Yeah.
something I can like treat myself to, or something like that, not a like this is part of my actual fucking diet, like just because like of these hankerings, because I don't smoke cigs anymore, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I have an addictive personality, so it's kind of like filled that I've always had a sugar addiction, but it's just gotten amplified. Like we talked
Yeah.
about it with Sean Daly when he was on the show.
Yeah.
Like you're automatically going to go for that sugar because you're
Yeah.
missing it from the alcohol, and mine's just like amplified like none other. Like fucking candy bars and ice cream and shit. Like, oh man,
Dude, we should
I'm
try and get it.
I'm getting fucking hungry talking on the fucking podcast right now.
We should try and get a sponsorship with Noom. I'm sure we can probably make that work. Be like, have you used Noom before? No, but we'd like to.
Yeah, I would really love this, and you need to help me. Yes, any help I can get at all, I would love.
Yeah, it's just about like rewiring our brains. And this isn't talking about Noom anymore, which is clearly not a fucking sponsor. But
Right. We'll take it though if you guys.
Right. We'll take your little promo code.
Yeah.
For food for worms. But it's been it's about, for me, it's about just systematically rewiring my brain to what I to get that fix, but then also eventually like these weird amazing people that say I eliminated this from my diet. I'm like, well, that the word eliminate is really strong, and I guess at this point maybe it was like I just stopped eating dairy. Eliminating it just sounds like, because for me like I still fuck around with like the occasional little thing of ice cream, but that's more of, like you said, it's a treat. Like it's not like an everyday thing. Like for me, like I've lowered, while here, one of the things that I've appreciated about while actually like living and breathing and having weird sounds happening outside of my window in the dead of night, but being able to start over in a new space, I've been able to really be intentional about what food I bring into the house. So like whenever I go to the grocery store, like when I moved here, all I came here with was condiments and dried food that I didn't want to throw away.
Well, you were like, Sam, here's a box, like grab my food, because I mean, rightfully so. You're not going to want to take all your fucking food in the back of a U-Haul and
yes, I can't
bring
do all
it
that.
bring it with you. So you're just like trying to not pawn it off, but I can't think of a better word. But you're just like, guys, take whatever you fucking want. It's like a free box at a garage sale, but it's all the food Darien had in his apartment.
Yeah,
over the years, and it was just like,
No,
some of
no,
it's legit, but it was some of the like legit stuff or whatever. But I
yeah,
get exactly what you're saying. You kind of
uh,
have to start over,
yeah.
and like you condensed or whatever. Now you
Yeah,
can like
I
make
can.
those choices a
Okay,
little
I'll
bit
get
more.
into. The next segment will be about the harsh realities of moving to New York. but but with the food, yeah, I've been able to start over, but it hasn't been. And it has been. It's been enlightening to be able to make those choices consciously, because
Yep.
I have at least once already gotten like some fucking ice cream like and that I just brought home and had here at home, and I was like, all right, but then once I had, I was like, well, this is clearly dairy, like a dummy, and then I'm like, and then after I had, I was like, I feel bad, and then when I didn't have it for a few days, like, oh, I feel better, and my body isn't like totally lactose intolerant, but I think no matter what, as you get older, we're supposed to have dairy less and fucking less, so.
Right.
And I've been slowly cutting it out, but for me, if I roll up on some fucking some burrito tacos, I'm getting on those motherfuckers. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry, bro. It's gonna happen. But um,
I mean, and
yeah.
that's the thing for me is cheese. Like
Hmm.
I'm not I like I'll chow down on a fucking block of cheese, but that's not a regular thing. But
Hmm.
like it's the like a cheeseburger. Like I think of a cheeseburger, I don't think of a hamburger. Like I
Hmm.
just like certain things in my brain clicks
Hmm.
like, oh, cheese comes with this. So
Yeah.
why would I not have cheese with
Well,
this?
actually, yeah.
Like those are the types of like battles in my brain that like I'm starting to kind of make like those connections or whatever.
Hmm.
I've never thought of that stuff, and I'm now starting to try to be a little bit more conscious of like,
Dude,
oh, this has fucking cheese in it.
yeah, no, it's about like as we get older, we have to be more intentional. Like we
Yep.
can't just our default setting can't just be like I'm going to install this into my face. You have to like look at what you're ordering. You have to think about like not that we're like geriatric by any means, or is it geriatric? No, we're
Ger-
just not supposed to be a
Geriatric.
double. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not we're not advanced old yet, but we're getting older, and we have to look at what we're ordering now if we want to be able to really take care of our bodies and treat them the way that they need to be treated right now
Right.
in our early 30s. Because if we
Well,
don't,
no, continue. Sorry.
no, because if we don't, we're just gonna start. We're gonna keep running into these fucking walls of being like, I don't feel good. Like the other night, I'll tell you, agree with you. Like I think I did pretty good on my fucking sugar fix one night. But here's the thing about New York: there's a fucking bodega on every fucking corner, bro. I swear to fucking God, there's snacks for fucking days. I got a bodega on this corner, and I got a bodega on the other corner. And since this is an audio medium, I'm pointing in different directions that y'all don't know. But the other night, I dead
All
ass
around D is bodegas.
all
he,
bodega
he's
baby. No,
yeah, he's
but no,
got
I
him in
got
the
up.
hood.
I got I got up at like midnight, feeling a little peckish, and I was like, you know what? I've been doing pretty good today, and I went and got two kombuchas and a fucking bag of shitty popcorn, and I fucking went to town on those motherfuckers. And I was like, the kombucha is healthy, right? And then the popcorn's the popcorn. Just do it, Darien. It's gonna be. And then I got done with it. I was like, the kombucha was pretty good, but this fucking popcorn was a mistake. And I was like,
Well,
okay.
it's goofy because like I haven't started to like realize how certain things make me feel until
Hmm.
like you were saying, we're in our 30s now. We're not super fucking old. We're not geriatric. We're not getting to these
We're
places in
not
our
using that
lives.
word correctly. I know we're not.
I
I
mean
said geriatric. You said geriatric. So we were way up the fucking.
I like deriatric because we were talking about cheese and milk.
Oh no, yeah, I get it. But then geriatric just sounds like some fucking asshole who's.
Right. So, but it's just funny to me that it took me
Hmm.
till my 30s to like realize these things, and I think part of it also comes with like I'm trying to like I'm not trying to like put just a bunch of sugar into my kid's mouth. So like
Hmm.
she and I will just chow down on a fucking thing of blueberries, and
Yeah,
that's our sweet for the night, you know?
yeah.
So it's been like making those connections, but then it's me during the day while I'm out, I'm out delivering mail, working. I just get, I'm a snacker, you know? So it's
Hmm.
just like, ooh, fucking peanut M&Ms. I haven't had peanut M&Ms in a while.
Yeah.
Why not have that fucking nice sugary coating with some peanuts and, oh my
And
God, I need to go
sugar
get some
coating
now.
with some chocolate and some peanuts. My dude, my fucking dude.
Oh yeah. The chocolate coating, yes.
Yeah.
The pretzel ones are the fucking best, but you can only get them in the sharing size. I'm a
The
big
peanut butter
M&M's
ones
guy.
are the best for me. But okay, so I guess before we move on to our break, I guess like what is your what's your guilty pleasure snack? So right now in our 30s, we are now becoming more intentional about what we're eating and what we're putting in our bodies. And you said that it took you until your 30s, and it's taking me into my 30s to really think about this and really arrive at this space of being
Yeah, yeah.
of looking at it, analyzing it, and then inserting it into our face. When we're not being intentional and when we are not when we go into our snack mode of being like, I deserve this, go fuck yourselves.
Yep, yep.
What is your I deserve this, I don't care what the repercussions are snack?
I mean, it's bad, dude. Because
No, but just pick one. Just do it.
no, I
Don't
know,
get
but
into it.
that thing of pretzel M&Ms, like I for a while was doing one once a week, and that is
Mhm.
a family size like shareable fucking bag, and I'm pretty sure the entire bag is like 1,600 fucking calories, and
Yeah,
I'll eat
fuck
it
man.
in a sitting, and I'm like, okay, I definitely would have done this as a kid, and I'm totally fine with it. But then now I'm just like, now I'm like reading calories, which I never thought I'd be that person. But now I'm just like 1,600 calories. Sam, what the fuck did you just do to yourself? Like I'm feeling all right still, and
Yeah,
it's not like hitting me, but it's just like, damn, that's a lot of fucking sugar. And
yeah.
but it's mainly like those, or like downing a full thing of ice cream in a fucking night, or
Mhm.
something like that. How about yourself? Like, what's your guilty go-to thing?
My guilty, hell, I have many guilty go-to things. Like I have levels to it, and there's one here since I don't have a car anymore because I moved to Brooklyn. I'm gonna keep mentioning that. Like, no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
He's got a
Because I
bike.
moved to Brooklyn, my life has become infinitely more interesting. It is honestly, it is. I'm 2 or 3 weeks in. It's fine. There's levels to it. When I had a car, my and I was getting done. Like sometimes when we get done recording at your house, I'd stop at the gas station and get gas, but I would always go inside. I get some if I didn't care, I would get a some chocolate almond milk and a honey bun. And that would just be I'm like yes, yes. And then if I didn't give a fuck, I would get a fucking straight up just chocolate milk and fucking and then a honey bun, and that'd be my little thing. But if I'm really, but this is one where I'm really intentional about it, is every 2 or 3 months I will get a medium sized bag of fucking of Frito Lay scoops and a
Ooh.
small thing of top the tater, and I will
Uh-huh.
go to fucking town in that bag and that fucking thing for over the weekend. Okay. It's
Oh,
like for
for
every, it
sure.
would just be like a scoop top of the tater. Now here's the thing I learned recently because I was due for that. They don't have top potato or anything equivalent to that in Brooklyn. And I went
do
down to the
do
store.
searching.
I I no, I legit did. I only went to one. I'm not about to go someplace and like go to a place and then take like a 40-minute train ride to go get it. I'm not gonna do all that. If
No,
it's not in that
hell
gas,
no.
I'm not doing all that. However, I did look into it and it does not travel well, so I can't bring it. I can't get it here anyway. So that's one of mine. Yeah. So
Well, and I
yeah.
just went to the M&Ms just because I'm talking like mainly like sweets, and like
Mhm.
and on that dairy train as well. I've made the connection that like makes me feel goofy while I'm doing it.
Mhm.
And I have one more before we're done talking about food
Yeah.
and health and all these things. We could take a break in a second.
Or the
I
lack of
wanted
health.
Yeah, yeah, lack of health. Us being fucking
Monsters. Keep going.
gluttons,
Yeah.
gluttons.
Right.
But I was gonna say I have one more question. Three foods for the rest of your life, and you can only eat these three foods. What are they?
Hmm.
And they
Well,
could
I
be
think if
they could
we
be
could
like,
only eat these three foods, I think we'd just be dead because we can't have that much of that anything. I would say I would
this is a
have
hypothetical,
spinach.
D.
And I know it's a hypothetical, but then my head doesn't go there. It would be spinach. Um, for the greens, it would be chicken breast, grilled chicken breast, and bananas. I would just
Man,
cover
you're
those three.
so much more fucking healthy than I am.
No, no, just barely. I'm saying if it's no, because my head goes long game. It's like I would die if I have fucking a box of the not the burnt Cheez-Its, but the crispy Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
I just die if I had too much of that in my diet. It's like, oh, what happened to him? Oh, it's fucking his artery closed up because he ate
But is
fucking
that a
Cheez-Its.
thing that you would like really miss if you had if you were only eating those other three things
If
for the
I
rest
and
of your
listen,
life?
if those are the only things that were available to me because of some weird magical hypothetical that means I can't have anything else, then I would have spinach, chicken, and bananas for the rest of my life. I would just be potassiumed up, proteined up, fucking roughage up. My poop
Oh
would be fucking green all the time. It'd be great, man. It wouldn't be any issues.
man, mine mine is a sack of potatoes because I can make it into so many different ways. The potato is my favorite fucking food, and I love
Yep.
it prepared in any fashion whatsoever. So I'd be there with a sack of potatoes,
Hmm.
a stack of pecan pie, and all of the Hello Panda little cookies that I can
You
get.
would definitely be dead, man.
Yeah, I'd be dead. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like those are the foods that are like my like hello like I go to Cub once a fucking week, the grocery store here, and and I look for Hello Pandas. They've been out of stock for a month, and I think it's my fault.
Oh my god. All right. So, hey listeners, I guess what are you thinking about what foods are you thinking about? What are your guilty pleasures? What changes are you making to your diet as you also get older and look down at the latter end of your life being like, "Ah, man, I probably should make some changes." And if you are, cool. But like what do you put inside of your gullet? What are you inserting into your body? What are you installing?
Yeah, we can make these changes or just talk about it together.
Yeah.
We can because I'm definitely going to try to make these changes in the next couple months. I really
Hell
need
yeah.
to. So
Well, yeah, if y'all let us know what y'all are thinking, share some stories with us on our grab bag. You know where those links are. We'll tell you at the end. Anyway, we're gonna take one quick break to hear from our sponsor because they're great. Thank you.
so yeah, like after my cold or whatever, like I was starting to like feel great. I'm still like pretty tired or whatever, and
Hmm.
then I randomly won tickets to go see Ween.
Oh, you went to a
And
concert?
I went to a concert last
Okay.
week. It was the first, and it was amazing, and it was goofy and weird because it was definitely the largest group of people I've been around in a
Hmm.
long time, and trying to like social distance, around that amount of people is very difficult. But it was like
It was outdoors, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was an
Okay.
outdoor show in a
Yeah.
parking lot, and people were trying to, be. I was taking off and putting on my mask the whole time, like being in lines and whatever, just whatever proximity I was in people, I was changing,
Hmm.
that whole situation. But it was fucking rad because it was Brooke and I's 10-year anniversary,
Hmm.
and a local brewery out here, Surly. I mean, they're not just local. Everybody fucking knows Surly, but they had put out a thing. They were just like, "Hey guys, we have a couple tickets to the show. Hit us up with your favorite song off of the album Chocolate and Cheese by Ween." And so I threw one.
Wait, that's a fucking Ween album.
Yeah, that's a Ween album. It's
Chocolate
the
and
one where
cheese.
they're wearing it's the Ween logo on a belt around a gal's waist, and then
Okay,
her
so
boobs are hanging out
it's a
from under the shirt.
reverse charcuterie board then.
Yeah,
It's a charcuterie board from hell. Like
and the
get this
song
fudge, get this cheese. Do you want some sharp cheddar or would you like some dark chocolate? Keep
the
going,
song
buddy. I'm listening.
the song that I posted is a song called Buenos Tardes Amigo.
Mm.
And but they messaged me the following day because I just thought it was like a shot in the dark. I was just like, I guess I'll throw it out there. We had plans to have dinner, but if we're gonna go see Ween, that's a fucking great anniversary. Let's go see some fucking Ween. And
Hmm.
they hit me up the next morning. They're like, "Hey, you're going to this show," and it was a great. I don't know if you've ever listened to Ween, but they are fucking all over the place, just great. And
Hmm.
their fans are very like diehard, like it's kind of like a culty, not they're not like a cult, but like very culty. Like everybody, all their fans are just like they're diehard. Like it's either you love them or you hate them,
Oh,
and that's how it's
fuck.
always
I
been.
don't. Okay.
And I listened to them a little bit in high school. Like I had Chocolate and Cheese, and I think I had the Mollusk. And then in college when I was DJing on the radio, like they've got like 10 albums, and I was throwing their stuff on all the time. Just like that's how I was like learning more and more and more about their music. And like I love it because interviewers will tell them, they're like, some of your stuff is just like hard to listen to. And they're like, Yeah, I know. And that's like their response isn't taking
And
that offensively.
and
They're
they
like,
said, we know.
yeah,
They said, we know.
yeah. They're like, yeah, we understand that. They're like, I don't listen to my music. They're like,
It's for
we
you
play it for
assholes to listen to.
people, and we put out albums. And like, sorry if I was like messed up when making this one fucking song that is so all over the place. But that's why they're great, because it is literally all over the place, and they're so experimental with whatever they do. But I would throw on the most obscure fucking weird shit when I was on the radio, just so that people would call in and be like, what the fuck are you doing? So like, that's
some bullshit. You're sitting there just like, so you got some Herberts and Gerberts driver who's just trying to get through his night, and then he listens to was it KVSC?
Yeah, it was KVSC,
Like,
the local college and community radio at the
he's
hometown.
listening to KVSC because that's the only thing he listens to, because fucking KCLD's on some bullshit. Once 8 p.m. hits, then it's all just like a bunch of random top 40 songs. But KVSC is where you get the good shit, where you get the random shit, where it's fun. But you took it just a little bit too fucking far, didn't you, Sam?
Well, and I definitely like I definitely I had a weird ass show, because I like some point, like, I don't know if you'd ever listen to Pink Floyd, but there's an album of theirs.
Yes, I've listened to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, but there's an album of theirs called Adam Heartmother, and it's another one of those that I guess you could probably classify as like, this is hard to listen to, but just to like weird out people, goof them out, and maybe get a call from somebody to be like, what the fuck? There's a song on there that's 20 minutes long that is bells and whistles going off, and you can hear and water dripping for fucking 15 to 20 minutes. And I would go outside and have like four. Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I would, no matter what, I didn't play it every fucking night, but I would always have that one in the chamber, because if I'm stressed or having a weird night and I gotta go have a bunch of cigarettes, or I gotta take a major dump.
All right. No,
those are like the two. You always need like a couple of longer songs, especially if you might be having a little bit of a loose stool.
I feel a little better about knowing that now, being like, because you're saying like, I just play this super long song, because I've myself, not necessarily KVSC, I've been in situations where it's like, well, guess we're listening to the fucking radio, and then whoever's DJing that night was just on some bullshit and played some shit. I'm like, why the fuck, like, who do you think you are? Like, why would the fuck would you play this song? Like, why would you play like Go TA 4 times in the fucking row? Like, I don't know. So for me, I'm imagining just like St. Cloud, Minnesota, 2008, 2009, and just have a pretty decent night, listen to the radio, and then the fucking 20-minute song where 10 minutes of it is water dripping.
Yeah.
On this local college radio, and then me knowing that it was you doing that. It's like, why? But I understand now, because cool.
And the thing is like, I DJ'd while I was in college, and for a few years after, and I did late night shows and I did morning shows, and my sets were always very similar. So like, even if it's fucking 6 a.m. or it's fucking 11 to 2 in the morning or whatever, I'm still playing a lot of the same shit. And it's all over the fucking place. So like, I don't know if you know the band Man, but another amazing concert I saw way back in the fucking day. I went on crutches, on fucking painkillers, and got wasted. It was not a good night to go to a show.
Terrible,
but, yeah. But they're so like in your face, and another band that for some people could probably be hard to listen to. And I would play that at like 6 a.m. and be like, hey folks, here's a song for you to drive to work to.
Yeah, like, hey there third shifters.
Yeah.
Sam Server on the radio again.
Or Ween put on hey there fancy pants.
Oh my God.
But you need to dive into them. I think you would enjoy some of their stuff
too. Now I don't think you sold me on Ween, buddy.
But this was, I think, the first tour, because I had seen them probably. It's been like 12 years since I saw them, so like, long time ago. And I don't think they've come out with an album in almost 20 years. So it's been like literally just touring on, and they always get a crowd. But I think this is the first tour that they're on where both of them are sober for the first time, and they've been together since they were 13. I think like 1984 out of Pennsylvania. I think that's just me throwing things out there, and I hope they're facts.
Oh my god. We don't fact check here, everybody. That's not true. Anyway, oh man, dude, that sounds like it was fucking rad. I haven't really been to any concerts. I poked my head into a few things before I left town, but
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be in a, with the exception of literally 2 days from now. If it's outside, I feel comfortable about it, but I haven't been to any concerts mostly because they weren't really happening until now. So
Right.
But when I do, like I'm gonna be in Red Rocks Saturday, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun to go to again. Going out there with the crew. Yeah,
Yeah,
concert.
it was definitely sorry. It was definitely just great to be there for the experience again.
Yeah, yeah, fuck yeah. No, that's one of the things that I miss the most is like just like that community, not the sense of community, because like when you go to a concert, one of the beautiful things is that almost everyone, unless you're being dragged there or you're working there, everyone is there to see somebody that's playing that night.
Yep, you're all
And
collectively there for the same thing.
for the same thing. So it means like it's like everybody could be on some different bullshit, different paths of life, different mentalities, and things you would never agree on with other people, but for some reason
Right.
you can all agree that we all really dig Ween.
Yeah. and their crowd is all over the place, dude.
Yeah.
Like in crazy all
Is it
over
a lot
the
of
place.
patchouli smells or no?
I mean, I'd say a good portion of them, but then there's like some people that are like you could definitely tell that they were doing some drugs back in the day, but
And they're doing
there
drugs
with
now.
but they're
microdosing
there
for a
with
week.
their now like 20-year-old kids being like,
Okay.
hey, here's the fucking trippy weird shit I was into as a kid. And like but looking like a dad
Yeah.
at the show, but not out of their mind on fucking acid or whatever the kids are doing
Oh no,
nowadays.
make no mistake, they're high on acid then too. Not now too. Like it's like their kid is their DD. It doesn't. What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine. Hey, you're driving me to this show. I'm gonna pop these. No, fuck that.
Dad, are you microdosing again? Dad, no, fuck.
That's when
He's
you
like, too late. He's like, no, too late. Too late. You're designated driver.
You lose your father at the show, and just
Oh no. Here's the thing. Though. He's been doing it long enough that he's been really cool, and he doesn't walk off. He just fucking just gets his eyes turn into saucers, and he just stays in one spot. It's the easiest job in the world.
Well, and I always, whenever I think of like LSD and going to like a show or something, have you ever been a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
For the most part, but later on, I liked it more because they always got to come up. It's from being shitty people.
Yeah, but one of the earlier seasons, like they go tailgating at some like football tryout thing,
Yeah,
and
that
Frank,
was the Green Man thing, right?
Yeah, Danny DeVito, he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm tripping balls. He just goes, he goes tailgating and just takes a bunch of acid as an old short man and gives a bunch to Charlie Day or whatever, and then he gets stuck in a garbage can, but he thinks he's stuck in the fucking toilet in the camper or whatever. And I always think of that because when you go to big shows like that, like you always check for two things, like where's my water and where's the bathroom, and then I just always think of that with Frank on LSD stuck in the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah, man. Word. Well, that sounds like it was a good time, bro.
Yeah, it was fun. It was much needed. Very good. Very
Go
good.
out there and get that sense of weed community. Yeah, man. So fucking moving here was harrowing, but not really. In a good fun way. We haven't really talked about it that much, but it was like you saw me leading up. Like the last time you and I sat down for a podcast was like the day before I was leaving, and you came and helped me pack up.
Then we like loaded you up, right?
Yeah.
The next day or
The
whatever.
very next day you helped me load out. So we did all that. Once we got on the road though, it was fine. I went and had a really nice lunch with my mom, and she was crying.
How was that? Was that tough?
Huh?
Was that tough?
It was a little less tough, but it got better. It was just more just like me checking with my mom to be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
And her
yeah,
just sending me off. We went to Chiambrazo over in Northeast Minneapolis, a wonderful restaurant, and you should all go check it out. They are not a
yeah.
sponsor.
Good,
I
good
fully endorse
fucking
their food.
choice. Yeah.
Fucking Ecuadorian, oh god, amazing. Sorry, that was a weird sound. Anyway, so yeah, we take off. We end up driving that night and going to my aunt uncle's house. That was cool. Uh, my aunt uncle, they are wonderful people. They're really they are antagonistic to each other, but in the most wholesome way in the world. It's like Darien. It's my uncle Wally. He's just like Darien. Your aunt is gonna kill me. She's like, and then she's like, you know I will, Wally. They're
That's
easily
great because that's like a playful,
yeah, no,
just like fucking with each other, but it's all out of love,
yeah,
which is
dude, it's
great.
all out of love. Like I'm saying, like they've been holding on for like 40 fucking years. They're the best. Anyway, so these two they let us stay there for the night, get up and go the very next day, and then it's just a fucking slog. But you said Philadelphia earlier. Who you said the Ween is from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? Excuse me.
I well, I think they're from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
Philly.
they're
I
just
don't
from
want to
that
specify.
gigantic fucking state.
But I was
Yeah.
gonna say like I first time I spoke to you after you had left, you were like,
Hmm.
yeah, I drove at night through the fucking mountains in a
Of Pennsylvania, it's
U-Haul in
not
Pennsylvania,
tight.
and yeah, you were so over it.
Dude, it's so fucking whack. No, because here's the thing. I've driven through the Canadian Rockies. I've done all that shit, and tell you now, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. When you're on the 11th hour, you don't fucking care anymore. I didn't give a fuck
Yep.
after that. I was just like, dude, fuck these mountains. We had to get like, it was one of the things we had to drive, and then we just had to get as far into it as we could so that we could just get to a spot to sleep. We needed to do at least fucking 9 or 10 hours that day. And once he got into it, then it was the dark winding hills of Pennsylvania. Very next day, then we
Right.
got into New York proper, which was good. Getting in a town though, we get here. That oh God, I'm not even trying to just get into all of that, but it was just like trying to find a fucking spot
Yep.
where we are in Brooklyn for a 15-foot U-Haul was like I was like this isn't gonna happen. There's no like I felt hopelessness before, just angst and
Right.
hopelessness because just growing up, you think like, oh, I'm growing up, oh, nothing matters. No, 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 no. I
Well,
have
that's just
never.
life. But yeah.
No, that is just life. Life has never
Yeah.
hit me harder than looking for a fucking parking spot in Brooklyn, New York. I pull up with this fucking truck. I have to pee, and I'm just just looking out. We drive around fucking neighborhoods, and then everyone uses their horn as a fucking means of communication, and they
Yep.
all yell and scream, and I'm just like, get out of your car then. But I can't. I'm not gonna. I was feeling that. That was my energy. But if I say that, the chances are extremely high that they fucking will hear. And I was like, I'm not going out like that in the first fucking day, right?
Yeah. 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 No.
So we finally find like a parking spot where we were super illegally fucking parked, and then we start moving some things in, and then this some asshole parked their fucking motorcycle in the most weird spot in front, actually like, right in front of our house, right in front of our apartment. So I was like, we couldn't get. I could park there, but I couldn't like really get in there comfortably. And the van and the truck is like angled out at an angle in the middle of this fucking really narrow road as a result because of this fucking motorcycle. And then here everyone is on their fucking motorcycle, electric bicycle shit. If you try to move it at all, it made this screeching sound of nothing I've ever heard of. So I was like,
The
okay,
motorcycle.
yeah, like it was
Yeah.
because motherfuckers just get their shit jacked here, so you gotta do what you gotta do, and I
Yep.
understood, but I was just like, dude, fuck off, all that shit, man. We had a couple COVID scares in the first fucking week. I got to see the Locks versus once the COVID scares were were good, once we were in the clear, I got to see the Locks versus Dipset at the theater underneath Madison Square fucking Garden, which is easily one of the most New York things you could possibly do. And I was just fucking
Okay.
stoked. The fucking Locks killed that shit. I don't like but one of my favorite things about that, it wasn't even the performance itself. It was like me leaving and being inebriated and just trying to find the fucking train And as I'm walking towards where I think the train station is, I have a full length conversation walking in like straight line. We don't even look at each other. He's like, so what? So he's asking me about the show, and I try to like look at him. He doesn't look at me. I'm like, okay, so we're just walking. And he's like, so who do you think won? I was like, oh, it was definitely the Locks. He's like, why? Do you think you were just bred? Do you think that because that's how the crowd went, or do you actually think like he's like he's trying to get me to be like, give me a point for point breakdown of why you think they won. I was like, and I was looking, I was just like, I don't know who you are, but okay. And we did it, and then once he got to his train station, he's like, all right, bye, and he just walked away. And I was just, I was like, okay, man, all right, dude. Um, and there was just a couple of just nights of just going out and just seeing the city. Basically, some parts of Lower Manhattan are just like it looks like the Dinky Town, basically at night.
Right. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
dinky town, but on a wider fucking scale. Just drunk
Yeah.
fucking kids from Jersey, just being drunk in the streets, and I'm just trying to get a fucking slice of pizza, man. Like I don't. Why are you talking to me? Type shit.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but it's
Definitely,
it's a very
definitely like your type of place because
it is not entirely at all. What?
but what I'm saying is like we've spoken in the past of like your look that you give people of
Yeah,
like like I'm not fully cool with you yet.
yeah.
Like, and I think that fits in well there because it's just not as I guess I don't know. That's always been my understanding of like the culture a little bit. It's just like I'm not cool with you right away. Like I'm gonna be a
You mean with
little
random
goofy.
drunk kids that are from Jersey?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Not like me where I'm just like stoked to talk to anybody
Yeah.
always. You're a little bit more reserved until you're like you're aware of how this situation might actually go. You know
Oh,
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. For me with that, it's just kind of like yeah, like I'm not cold. I'm just I like you said I am very reserved. But for this one, it's just more like I'm out entirely of my element. I don't know anybody.
Well, and that's why you're
Like
there though. You
well, I
know?
know that's why I'm there, and but that's one of the things that I'm living with. But with being in that situation in a Minneapolis, I know where north is. I know where things are.
Yep.
I can get to where I'm going in a blink of a fucking eye because I had a car or I just knew how to get home from where I was. In New York City, unless I have my cell phone, I could not tell you where I am at any fucking time. Everyone, the one of the funniest things is that like not everyone, but like 90% of the people around me can get to where they're going without their phone. And I am one of the few people. I'm one of the people that is kind of like, nah, if my phone goes, I don't know where I am at all. I couldn't like it's a grid system, motherfucker. I couldn't tell you
so
where the
you're
fuck.
so you're maybe like feeling like you're still looking maybe like a tourist or something like
Yeah.
kind
Oh my
of
god, dude. Speaking of the tour shit, I just started feeling like home recently.
yep
The
yep.
first few weeks, I felt like I was visiting. Like I was
Well, and
going
that I
out.
mean that makes sense. You've been here for in
No,
the
no.
Twin Cities for a decade, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, for sure. But it's just like but it's like it didn't. There is there's like visiting a place and you know you're just visiting and then there's feeling like you're visiting a place but you're not when you go home you're actually going home you're not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my apartment feels felt like I'm in someone else's Airbnb because I've been like I said I've been in the same fucking space for fucking ever so now that I'm here and like now we're actually getting more and more settled I do need to make like 6 more trips down into the fucking storage unit but I'm telling you right now I would much rather be drop kicked in the chest or do the fucking the crate challenge than go down to the basement to try to bring these last few bins into the fucking storage unit because I hate stairs right now.
What the fuck's
um,
going on with the crate challenge?
oh,
You
that can
you
be
bring this up. Sorry to
no,
change
that's
this
hard. No, no,
subject,
you're hard.
but
Okay, so the crate challenge, if you're all not aware, um is a part of the ghetto Olympics that somebody or the hood Olympics that somebody fucking started or there's a bunch of conspiracies and motherfuckers saying that like the CIA dropped off these milk crates in the neighborhoods. I think that was more of a joke, but it's because
right,
but it's being said enough that it's kind of like all right, it's less of a joke now because some people are actually like really spinning that. But
right.
it's basically like it's a pyramid, one straight line and milk crates get higher and higher each one, and people keep walking up them. And as you get higher up, you get the more fucking stable it is because you go up one or two or three, it just starts rocking beneath you. And now you got these fucking gigantic crowds of people that are that a lot of people going up there, and sometimes be like just you in the middle of a park, and 10 feet out is just grass or a fucking sidewalk or a street, and
Right.
motherfuckers are falling out and busting their asses. Or there's been some other ones where like somebody's going up, and then somebody that clearly doesn't have their best interests in heart because they fucking do what they're doing next. They just kick the fucking crates from underneath them, and these
Oh,
motherfuckers are falling, and then like they're cracking their fucking like their abdomens on whatever's beneath them when they actually fall, or they're cracking their fucking heads on the ground. And I'm just kind of like, we deserve a better class of Hood Olympics. The
yeah.
fucking crate
Yeah.
challenge is not one of them.
Well, and like the thing that where I was introduced to it, like somebody was like, David Blaine, I dare you. And I was like, okay, if that's like the jokes people are making is like they're trying to challenge David Blaine to this, I was like, I support this 100%.
David Blaine would fuck somebody up in that shit. He'd walk up and like, yes, he's like, you want to see me do a magic trick, and he just does it. But he just does it. But
maybe if you light it on fire or something, he'd be down.
Oh yeah, he'd do it. He'd make it disappear too in his
Yeah.
butt. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry to go off into the crate challenge, but I just needed to clarify. I had no idea what the hell people have been doing with it. I'm
Yeah,
happy
man.
that with your travels, like the toughest spot was like obviously cruising through the mountains in Pennsylvania wasn't fun, but like it sounds like the most annoying part was actually figuring out how to get your fucking U-Haul parked so that you could like get it figured out.
It's here's the thing. It just feels heavier because I'm here in an unknown space. But
Right.
it's just like being anywhere. And one of the things I'm really beginning to appreciate only being here a few weeks is the New York. Some people think, and again, I feel like I'm not from here, but when people think New York, they think like Manhattan and like like everyone's walking around and everyone looks so cool in suits or whatever, and it's kind of like, nah, man, New York is Brooklyn. New York is Queens. New York is fucking the Bronx. New York is the Lower East Side. New York is fucking Bed-Stuy, just Yonkers, arguably. Some people will say otherwise, but it's like it's this very beautiful brown um populace that I appreciate. Like my neighborhood is Latinx like a motherfucker, and I love it because I'm getting to meet new people, and I'm
Hell
trying to start learning Spanish because it would be good to know Spanish. I can be able to converse more with my neighbors and shit. But
You
just
got to get one of those apps so you can like start learning that shit.
oh yeah, we should get one of those.
15 minutes a day.
Duolingo.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I like Duolingo, and clearly not a fucking sponsor, but like I feel like I know that if you want to do these things, you have to be consistent. You have to really like dedicate time to it. But when you forget to like do your lessons on Duolingo, they fucking come at you with these fucking push notifications that feel like a really fucking hassle. They're like,
Oh,
"Hey, you missed your
really?
shit today." I've tried it. I know what an apple is, Montana, and all that other shit. But then, but I guess what always turns me off because I don't like being told what to do is like, hey, you missed your lesson today. It's like, motherfucker, I'm at work. I'm not thinking about learning. I'm not thinking about this shit. But if you really want
I'll
to
hit
learn
you up
something,
when I have time.
yeah. But if you really want to be about it, if I actually really want to learn be more able to be more versed in the language so that I can speak and converse with my neighbors and get to know them better, I need to actually like really hunker down and do that. And that's one of my goals this year is to get better, is to
Hell
be
yeah.
get better at Spanish. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
man, it's been fun. I miss home, which is really funny. Like we're doing this, but I'm actually literally gonna be back in Minneapolis in like 4 days, so I'm really excited.
We're gonna be hanging up here, in sometime next week too. So,
yeah, everybody, yeah, you're hearing me. You're hearing me 3 weeks into Brooklyn. Next episode, I will be back in this. Sam's attic like a motherfucker,
and then back again,
and then back home,
and then I'll be there eventually. Yeah, we're all over the place, and it's been fucking great.
Yeah, sorry. Before you do, I haven't finished the episode because I think the one with the newer one with Cody that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody sits down. And I still need to finish the episode, finish my review of it. So sorry to peek behind the curtains, everybody. You told everybody that I died milking a bear?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, Cody didn't like the bit, and I said you died milking a bear because I wanted it to be something like so obviously not true that people would be like, okay, this is obviously a bit, because some people like they just see that like I say this, I didn't want people to like dive into a spiral and be hitting you up like, D, you dead? No, I'm in Brooklyn. Say I'm fucking joking. And you just shut the fuck up.
D, are you dead? No, I'm in Brooklyn.
And he died milking a bear. Like,
Yeah,
I just had to make it
milking a bear.
something obviously a joke.
So yeah, thank you all very much for actually like following through on our Food Forums grab bag. We appreciate y'all sending in some stuff. It's been few and far between, but when they do, they're very sweet. They're very kind. They're very insightful. We're gonna read a few for you right now.
And we always like to hear from you guys. So I was, if you, you know, if you're enjoying the show and you want to like, you know, hear about us, you know, hear us talk about certain things, just always hit us up. We're always down to chat about different
we
shit,
appreciate you. Thank you. So we got one. It's been since we did this. You sent this back in June, and sorry, but you know we're here now.
We wanted to wait till we had a few. So
yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say, listening to your podcast really helped me through my day today. I wasn't feeling the best. Thanks, guys. Hey, you didn't leave an email, so I don't know who this is, but
is it
I'm
fully
glad.
anonymous?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm glad that you. I'm glad that this lifted you up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm happy that, you know,
You don't know why.
Well, I don't know, like I'm always happy to hear like if it's helping somebody get through their day, that's literally all I intend to, you know, do.
Yeah, thank you.
If
you
it's
for
something positive out there, fuck yeah.
I'm glad that our barbecue stories, our dumb barbecue stories, are helping you lift, or putting some air beneath your wings. That's a nice feeling. Hell yeah. I'm gonna take that validation.
Dumb barbecue stories.
Yeah, dumb barbecue stories. All right, next one. I have a question. Besides music, is there anything you use to help yourself feel emotions or cry it out? For example, when I need to cry or feel more, I take my noodles, ramen, or pho, etc. I make my noodles, ramen, or pho, etc. extra spicy. So spicy it makes makes my nose run, and inevitably makes me cry. It helps me. Just wondering if either of you have something like that. Thanks for your time. You're amazing. Keep it up.
I mean, I guess this kind of goes with music, but like movies are a very like large emotional response for me, and like certain movies that I've seen like many times over the years, I just if I'm feeling a certain way about something, I know that there's a couple movies that can help me kind of feel out my emotions and get a good cry out there, because sometimes you just need to cry, not even about something specific, and it's just like good to get that out there, same as like just getting a good laugh out there, you know. I don't know.
For me, for me to feel shit, I feel a lot of things often. I feel them when I wake up. I feel them when I go to bed. That was a terrible sentence. Jesus Christ. You keep all this in. Just I want everybody to know that I'm
Of
not
course.
that smart. Syntax
When,
bad.
when I feel things,
when
I feel things often.
I feel things often. Maybe that'll be the name of the episode. That's such a bullshit thing to say. When I feel things often. When I need to just make myself feel alive, I don't know. I have to do like a big rough change of scenery, because sometimes when I do catch myself in a mood, or when I catch myself where I'm not at my emotional best, whether that's either external or internal things happening, in order for me to reset the emotional batteries, I often need to remove myself from the routine that I'm currently stuck in, that while I'm feeling that, and then
That makes sense.
yeah, and then I make a point to go and do something fun, to do something kind of pampers myself. I try not to do retail fucking therapy, because then you just end up being broken sad at the same time.
Yep.
But when I need to be like, yo, I'm not feeling too hot, or sometimes I do nothing, because sometimes like my shit is I'm doing too much, and sometimes I just need to do nothing and just fucking stop. But
Which
so I guess
makes total sense.
yeah, I give both ends of the spectrum, but more often than not, I just want to feel different, so then I will change my scenery. I will go do something different. I will sometimes go to just a sometimes just going to a movie by myself is what was one of my fucking favorite things. Sometimes
I was
just
gonna say a movie theater definitely does it too,
yeah.
because that experience makes it a little bit even by yourself too. Because
Hmm.
I've gone, I haven't done it in forever, but going to a movie yourself, it's just like it's much more of an experience, and it's just like, okay, I'm going here to just kind of feel something. I don't know what it is yet, because
Yeah.
obviously maybe you haven't seen that movie before or whatever.
Yeah, maybe going there for a laugh. Yeah, sometimes just like the magic, because sometimes also it's the escape. I think
Yep.
that's because for me sometimes it's not even about searching for a feeling. It's about searching for an escape, and that escape is just an escape from where I'm at right now. So I'm not looking to feel different. I'm looking not to escape this feeling, but to get into a space where I'm not. I don't like I'm on a journey, and this journey is this fucking movie. Like for me, I get a lot of joy out
Right.
of fucking comic book, other fucking Marvel movies. One of my favorite things in the world, because last year and a half I haven't had too many, but like I know that during the summer I'm gonna get that fucking endorphin rush because there's gonna be some fucking new Marvel movie coming out or some bullshit at some point. Um,
Right. Right.
and
Well, and
it's been
that's so different than our world. So it's like
yeah,
it is taking you out of your life,
yeah,
like
like
for
take me away,
sure, because
Robert
it's
Downey
so different.
Jr. You five.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are Iron Man, sir. But yeah. I look for escape, but that escape comes in when I'm actually like where I hope I land. I don't have any expectations of it. I just look to do something different to get myself out of where I'm at currently at that time.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I also like to do like I don't know if it helps me cry, but I like to go for like a good walk. Like
Mhm.
just so to just like get out of my surroundings right now, and I'll just go cruise with my dog and just
Mhm.
like think for a little bit and just like try to like grasp a little bit more what's going on in my head or whatever. I don't
Mhm.
know. Just gives me some time.
I feel that, bro. The last one. Thank you so much for sending this as well. Did either of you ever play QWOP or fuck with eBombs World or HomestarRunner.com? If yes, and you have stories to tell, please do. Well, how about you, Sam? Did you know what any of those are?
What is the first thing? Q
Um,
Q
QWOP. I looked it up. I had never played that shit, but it looks like it's a QWOP is a 2008 ragdoll-based browser video game created by Bennett. Okay, whatever. Bennett Foddy, formerly of the bassist of Cut Copy. Okay, players
Okay, I've heard
control
of
an
Cut
athlete
Copy.
named QWOP. Using using only the Q, W, O, or P keys. The game became an internet meme in December 2010. The game helped Foddy's site reach nearly 30 million hits. I
Wow.
didn't. I didn't play this, and I don't know what the fuck this is. This looks like it would be fun, and like you guys would something. I was going to school when this happened, and I think I was really interested in music business, and I was spending nights on Tumblr instead of QOP. So
You you spaced that one.
yeah.
And I definitely did not uh I was way into like partying at that time, and I
Hmm.
I do not believe that I think I spaced on that one as well. QWOP.
QOP.
I just
What?
like that it's named after literally the four keys you use for the game, and
You're right.
I that wins it for me right away, because I just think that that's like so legit and like
Hmm.
basic and didn't make it like too complicated. I love
He
that.
said basic.
I'm not
One of
I'm
my
not in the way that like basics like hating on
no, homie,
people,
it's
but
basic. It's basic as shit, but in the best way. No, it's what I was gonna say. I also like how you didn't say this, but it implies you're like the joke where it's like, oh look at you guys hanging out, going to college, playing Q up. I was at the mall playing video games and partying. Fuck you. I'm joking. That's not what you said, but it was in that vein. Like, yo, y'all are playing Q up. I was partying. Fuck
I mean, yeah, I was probably getting high playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater
two.
2 or something. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah, it
yeah.
was probably number 2 or 3 or something like
Yeah,
that.
or what was it, Skate, or whatever it was. At some point, there was
I
like
never,
a.
I fell off before. I mean, I've played Skate, but I definitely fell off
Mm,
the gaming realm prior to Skate.
yeah, man. I
But
was really
what was the second half of this question? Sorry.
E Bombs World was like there was another one called E Bombs World, which I know was like It was like it was like one of
It
those
was
things where it's
like a darker YouTube, right?
nah, it was okay. Yes, I think it was that for, and I guess dark is relative for the fucking early aughts, but it was like oh, you remember like New Ground? You ever play that? It's like
New
a bunch of
gra-
like flash video games and shit.
Uh-uh.
Okay, well, like some of those, there were like these sites. I didn't play E-Bombs World, but there was one called like Newgrounds.com that would let you be like, you know, not let you do it, but it was like a bunch of different types of games that were just really bloody and fucking fun. And I remember there was like one was like stick people, and you're just beating the shit out of each other, or you're a stick person and you're running around with a gun. And this is one of those things where I shouldn't have been playing it at the BGC, but I was.
I feel like I remember one that's like it's either like a bird or maybe a dog or something, and you like launch it in a what is that? What is that? A slingshot,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
you just see it
You
get
talking about
bashed
Angry
up in
Birds?
blood. No, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. This is way, 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 way
Way
prior
before that.
to
Okay.
Angry Birds, but like it's like the games you're explaining sounds just like that. But you just launch this like creature,
Yeah.
and don't quote me on bird or a
Yeah. Yeah.
dog or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but you just launch it, and the thing just gets as bloody as fucking possible. And the
Hmm.
bloodier it gets, and the farther it gets, the higher your score gets.
Okay.
If anybody knows the name of that game, like that sounds close to what you're talking about. And I don't remember
No,
what
here's
the fuck the name of
but
that
no,
game
here
was.
it was a website. Evol's World. I never played that one, but I know that it's probably in the same space of like
Yep.
Newgrounds. But it was games like that. It was these really cool flash games that these earlier on the people that are who are making the big video games now were making these games back in the fucking early 2000s probably.
Right.
But it was like these really cool, really vaguely intricate, simple games that were just like stick figures, but the stick figures are around shooting each other, and you're just like, I'm playing this game and I shouldn't be, but because these websites aren't hitting all the firewalls for my school, which is dope. But the other one, but there was another one called Alien. Like you remember, like you ever played Alien Hominid or whatever? It's like a fucking really violent game where like an alien and you're fighting the fucking you're running
Yeah.
up and you're like you're
Yes.
fighting like these secret agent people, but you're using this fucking laser gun and you're just murdering left and right. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Um,
I vaguely remember playing that briefly.
yeah, it was like
Yes.
a little yellow guy. That game, I
Yep.
think they had that on fucking on Xbox 360 at some point. But then
Okay.
after that, the last one he was talking about was Homestar Runner. I loved Homestar Runner. That was
And
the
what's
best.
that?
That one is there's this guy who's basically like a luchador. He had the big red luchador, big red head, and he's always
Yep.
wearing punching gloves or boxing gloves.
Boxing gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing just a shirt, no shirtless, black pants, and he's always like this, and then there's the character of Homestar Runner, and then all these other weird guys. But there's like these, it was like a flash video that would play through, and then almost no matter what, somewhere on the page there was like this hidden button that if you clicked it, something weird would happen, or it would take the story a little bit further. And then it was like every week or every other week for like a few years, there would just be like new content, and it was always funny and silly. It was never like, it was like I think it was a little dirtier, but it was like um Bob's Burgers in that it was funny, it was raunchy, but it wasn't degrading as I understood it.
Right.
Maybe to a
Right.
point,
Right. Right.
because like Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers is one of the things I appreciate about that show is like that show is the prime example of the people saying like comedians like we can't be funny anymore, we can't say it's like no, or like shows aren't funny anymore. That is not true. Bob's Burgers can be funny without degrading
Yeah.
anyone really, besides like the characters themselves. But I remember Homestar Running just being ridiculous, and it was whimsical and absolutely ridiculous. Like we'll watch a few after this, but like just
Okay.
so you get a
Okay.
piece
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
because
fucking
I always
Trogdor.
thought E-Bombs World was like a video site, or
I
was
think
it just video games?
I think that it was a video set, but it was also like some flash games as well. Like that was the same
Okay.
things with
Because that
same
was like
thing.
salad fingers, right? That would have been like that era. I
Jesus
feel like.
Christ, I haven't heard that in a while. Oh my God,
Might I
Sam.
inquire your rusty kettle?
No, thank you, sir.
Hubert Cumberdale, you taste like soot and poo.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, on that note, Sam, are you ready to call? Are you ready to call it a night?
Yeah, we'll leave you at salad fingers.
Salad
You
finger.
had me at hello. We'll leave you at salad fingers. Do you want to read us out, D?
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. You are all really patient. We appreciate you all watching and listening and being supportive. If you want to submit any questions for, we did the grab bag time. If you want to submit any questions of your own or topics for us to talk about, head to bit.ly/FFW Grab Bag, or contact us at foodforwormspodcast@gmail.com. For more of an existential, light, raunchy, good old wholesome humor, you should rate and subscribe us and leave comments and all of our shit at Food Forums
That's how
on
more
Apple.
and more people get to hear us. So
Yeah.
always.
That's a shit. We need to be more mindful and not say that more often. But you could we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You could be literally anywhere. You could be doing anything else, but you're here, and we appreciate the show you for that. As always, check on your strong friends. Tell your people you love them, and remember that you can't take any of this fucking shit with you. So don't be a fucking prick.
I love
This
you,
has
D.
been Food for Worms. Sam, what'd you say?
What?
What the
I
fuck
said
you
I
say to
love
me?
you, D.
What the fuck
I'm
you
sorry.
say to me?
I won't say it again.
Say it again.
You had me at salad fingers.
Oh fuck. I love you too, buddy. I'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
The Food for Worms podcast is a hella rad production.
It is recorded and mixed by Samuel Sarver.
Executive producers are Darien Washington and Samuel Sarver.
Theme music is Muffins by Dresden the Flamingo.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Because we need those reviews.
We do, and it helps people hear our stuff.
Pushes us right to the top. But on top of that, we also get that sweet ass validation. Sam, have you felt validated lately?
Sometimes.
I recently took up this new moniker. Play with me in this space.
What's your new moniker?
Validation Highlander. I used to be chopping fucking heads off, man. So stupid.
Fuck them bullies.
Fuck them bullies. You get it validated, and you get it validated.
And you, and you, and you.
Do you feel seen?
I'll cut your head off.
Oh my God.